heavier in the gray.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking more like this.
Okay.
And then follow my grays all the way through. Right.
Okay.
I don't like, or I want to get rid of the
brown.
The brown.
And
the
yellow. Other than that, was there anything wrong with the other color? Other than the brown, I mean.
No, I guess I just want it like my natural color, basically.
Soft.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a few things.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to touch the ends at all? Like as far as brighten them up? Or you want me to just kind of tone it to be a grayish color?
Grayish color.
Okay. This is going to take time to get out the brown, like to weave it out. And then we'll make the front a little bit lighter since you're a little bit lighter up here. Yeah. I'll probably weave so you'll definitely see your natural in between the color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done anything since September.
Okay, so we'll do it a little bit more. Let me see the back here. Hold on. Would you prefer me to do a heavy highlight in the back and get rid of the brown first, or you wanted me to keep it dimensional?
I do like it dimensional, but what do you suggest? Because that's one thing that I had mentioned to my previous stylist, that I want it more dimensional, not all like hay. But she tried, and this is the...
Okay, let me do it in between. So not totally match your gray pattern in the back, but not totally make it too solid, so that you still have some dimension, and that way we can mask some of the brown, because the brown is still going to be there a little bit.
Okay.
But at least it will blend a lot better, and then we'll tone to like a grayer color.
Okay.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we have a new client who just wants something that is going to grow out a lot softer with her gray pattern. I believe the last person who did her hair might have put some permanent color in between the highlights, and it ultimately created that band. You can see right there, it's like a brown band in between her natural and some of the highlights. And then on top of that too, I feel like the ends are very solid as far as the blend, and her photo looked more dimensional, like we had mentioned in the consult. She wanted more dimension, but at the same time, even though we are trying to preserve some dimension, we are also trying to correct out that band of brown permanent color that was left in her hair. So that's why I kind of asked her what she wanted to prioritize in this appointment. And so we kind of decided to do somewhere in the middle where we won't do the back too heavy. We'll leave some dimension, but leaving more dimension means leaving some of that brown out. So a lot of times when I'm doing a corrective color like this, I'll kind of gauge which is more of an issue to the client and address those first, so that we can create a very smooth transition as they kind of grow out their old color, and we have something that is more wearable as it grows out. So also, if you're new here, I always start in the back. I am using the Danger Jones powder lightener. This powder lightener is amazing for all textures, all levels of hair, because it has bonder in it and it has really good strength. So for her application, I'm just going to be going in with just standard 20 volume. I never feel like I have to go above 20 volume, even though some of my clients' hair is pretty dark. I would say for her hair texture is more like medium. It's not super fine, it's not super thick or anything like that. So I'm just going in with 20 volume and trying to carefully pick out any previous highlight and just create a more intentional blend. I feel like the last blend she had, it was more solid towards the ends and a little bit inconsistent throughout the root. So I'm just trying to make something that is going to have more of an even pattern throughout. And then eventually we'll get her to a point where we can really mimic her gray pattern. And so in the back, I usually do a mohawk section all the way towards the top. And as I'm doing her money piece section here, I did a few weaves off the hairline, and then I'm going to continue my slices. When I'm doing a corrective color, where that means I'm trying to correct old permanent color or whatever banding client has, I try to utilize slices because that's going to get rid of that color the fastest and most effectively in this first session. And then as that corrective color is slowly weaved out or highlighted out, then I start to kind of mimic their gray pattern and start to incorporate more weaving patterns and create a softer blend as they come in for their touch-ups. But today, since this is her first time with me, I'm going to utilize slices because this is just going to make my life easier when we do a touch-up. I can visually distinguish where the old highlights that we're doing today versus later. And when we do touch-ups, I'm trying to essentially just make it so it's easier for me to do the color each time she comes in with a very consistent pattern and layout as far as my sections. So now I'm working into her side money piece. I did a weave off the hairline and then pretty much just going to continue the slices diagonal back. I want to make a note here though, when I do the side money piece, I always try to make sure that I'm picking up my corners that connect to the foil above it or nearest to it. So right here, I'm going to be foiling above the ear and I'm making sure that both ends connect to the previous highlight in front of it and to the previous highlight behind it. And I like to do this all throughout the entire hairline so that there is cohesiveness and everything connects naturally and it just looks more intentional. I really don't like when sometimes there are dark spots within the hairline and it kind of like gets broken off there. I like having things well connected and it just makes everything look more polished when everything is just consistent throughout the entire hairline. So after I've done that, I'm gonna just continue taking up these slices up the sides. We lifted her to like a level 9 and 10, whatever her hair would allow us to do. And so you can see as I'm pulling out her foils, we did not lighten the ends. We're just gonna go in with a toner. And for her toner formulation, I'm using the Danger Jones gloss toners. And I love these toners because they're very hydrating and the pigment in them are so great. So for her root formula, we did 5-1. And then on the mids and ends, I did a mixture of 6-01 and 9-12. And I'm pretty much just going to mostly apply this to that mid area and just kind of brush it through the ends and just have it lightly tone those ends so that it doesn't get too dark.
Wow.
Feels good?
Yes.
Yeah.
That looks good.
This tone is good. Yeah. That looks so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll for sure get rid of more of that brown, but it definitely blends better and we don't have that band in the front now. Yeah. So good. Okay, I'm gonna finish up your haircut. How's it feel?
I like it a lot.
It looks so good on you.
Yeah.
I love it. Alrighty guys, so here is the finished look. I absolutely loved it, even though there is still some of that brown in between because we were leaving some of that dimension. I feel like the band is definitely more broken up. There is some residual warmth here and there, but I will definitely be picking those pieces up when she comes in for her next touch-up. But at least everything else looks pretty even. The tone looks perfect. She can maintain this tone with like purple shampoo at home, but at least this will get her by as this starts to grow out and we can slowly just have her natural hair blended in with the highlights and like get that permanent color fully grown out. Alrighty guys, so that is it for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in, and as always, I will talk to you guys next week.